Imagine being trapped in a world where every shadow hides a sinister presence, and every choice you make could be your last. Welcome to the casting of Frank Stone, a horror game that challenges you to survive the nightmarish legacy of a vengeful spirit. As you navigate the twisted corridors of this haunted town, you'll find yourself questioning every move, wondering if you'll make it out alive. But does this latest entry from Supermassive Games deliver the spine-chilling experience horror fans crave? Let's dive in and see if the casting of Frank Stone is a hit or a miss. The casting of Frank Stone centers around the ghost of Frank Stone, a notorious serial killer whose malevolent spirit haunts the town of Cedar Hills. The narrative unfolds across 3 different time periods, intertwining the fates of various characters as they encounter Stone's lingering evil. The game's story is ambitious, blending elements of slasher horror with supernatural mysticism. This combination creates a rich, albeit convoluted, narrative that will either captivate you or leave you scratching your head. The game's plot is its most divisive feature. While some players might appreciate the complex storytelling and the way it slowly unravels its mysteries, others might find the pacing to be a significant drawback. After an intense opening, the game takes its time to build up to its next big moment, leaving some players feeling disengaged. It's a gamble that doesn't always pay off, especially when the middle chapters drag on without much action. When it comes to gameplay, the casting of Frank Stone is a mixed bag. If you've played any of Supermassive's previous titles like Until Dawn or the Dark Pictures Anthology, you'll know what to expect. Lots of dialogue choices, quick-time events, QTEs, and some light puzzle solving. These elements are all present here, but they don't always work as well as they should. The QTEs in the casting of Frank Stone can be particularly frustrating. They require a level of precision that feels out of place with the rest of the game's mechanics. Missing a single input can lead to dire consequences, which adds tension, but can also be a source of annoyance, especially when the controls feel sluggish. This has been a sticking point for many players who feel that the QTEs are more punishing than they need to be. Exploration is another area where the game stumbles. You'll spend a lot of time wandering through dark, narrow corridors, searching for items that add to the lore but don't have much impact on the gameplay. This can make the experience feel tedious, especially when there's little to do outside of the cinematic moments. The game's environments, while beautifully crafted, often feel empty and lifeless, which is a missed opportunity in a horror game where atmosphere is everything. One of the more interesting mechanics is the use of an 8mm film camera, which allows you to temporarily stop Frank Stone's spirit from attacking. This adds a layer of strategy to the game, but it ultimately feels underutilized. The camera mechanic could have been a game changer, but instead, it's relegated to a minor role that doesn't significantly affect the gameplay. Where the casting of Frank Stone truly shines is in its atmosphere and visual presentation. The game does an excellent job of creating a sense of dread and unease, thanks to its meticulously designed environments and eerie sound design. From the creaking floors of an abandoned mansion to the ominous shadows of a steel mill, every location in the game is dripping with tension. The character models are also impressive, though not quite photorealistic. There are moments where the motion capture leads to some uncanny valley effects, but these are few and far between. For the most part, the game looks and feels like a high-quality horror production. The lighting, in particular, deserves special mention. It's used to great effect to create a moody, oppressive atmosphere that keeps you on edge throughout the game. The sound design is another standout feature. The game's audio cues are expertly crafted to keep you on your toes. Whether it's the distant sound of footsteps or the sudden crash of a door slamming shut, the audio plays a crucial role in building suspense. The music, while subtle, complements the game's tone perfectly, enhancing the overall feeling of unease. One of the game's strengths is its replayability. The casting of Frank Stone features a branching narrative with multiple endings, meaning that the choices you make throughout the game can lead to different outcomes. This encourages players to replay the game to explore all the possible story paths, adding significant value to the experience. Additionally, the game includes a cutting room floor feature, which allows you to revisit previous decisions and explore different narrative branches without having to start the game over from the beginning. This is a great tool for players who want to see all the game has to offer without having to endure the slower-paced sections multiple times. For streamers, the game also offers Twitch integration, which allows viewers to influence the choices made during the game. This can lead to some unpredictable and entertaining moments, as the audience can steer the narrative in unexpected directions. However, you only get a limited number of vetoes, so be prepared for things to take a turn for the worse if your viewers decide to play tricks on you. The Casting of Frank Stone is a game that will likely divide players. On one hand, it offers a rich, atmospheric horror experience with a complex narrative and high replayability. On the other hand, its slow pacing, clunky gameplay, and sometimes frustrating QTs can detract from the overall experience. If you're a fan of Supermassive's previous games and enjoy narrative-driven horror, you'll probably find a lot to like in The Casting of Frank Stone. The game's story, while convoluted, is intriguing enough to keep you engaged, and the visuals and atmosphere are top-notch. However, if you're looking for a more action-oriented horror game, this might not be the one for you. In the end, The Casting of Frank Stone is a solid but flawed horror title. It has its moments of brilliance, but it's held back by some significant issues that prevent it from reaching its full potential. We give The Casting of Frank Stone a 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more reviews and gaming content from GameVault HQ. We'll see you in the next video.